I have done dangerous or liquids or lithium. There's a lot of things that are in this drop down menu for prepping requirements, because I mean, lithium batteries, they have to have a proper labeling outside of the box. Why? Because there's dangerous liquids inside of battery. The same thing for liquids. If you're actually shipping epoxy, what about one breaks or the second one breaks? Both of them, they're gonna be ended up hardened at the end of the thing. So you have to label all your shipping to Amazon as they stated, and they're gonna be pretty good at telling you point by point what they actually need. In this instance, sold as I said, they actually require you to add a label to the unit that clearly states that the product is to be received and sold as a single unit. Let's say for the wrapping or the bag, you have to put an extra label stating that this is sold as a set or it's ready for shipping. This is set, do not separate, just examples. Also, obviously you need to create, with the barcode, you have to put a new Amazon barcode as stated before. And then whatever the barcode, the actual barcode from the product is, you have to hide it, because Amazon won't be able to tell whether the Amazon label is the same as the barcode. So whether you're managing your inventory through the manufacturer barcode, which is the one that is actually imprinted on the box, or the one that Amazon is going to be providing you to ship it out to your customers. So these are some of the things, and that is scannable, that you're actually printing it legibly. Okay, so now we're ready for the product. It's wrapped in a poly bag. We already put a label that is going to be sold as a set. You can even write it with a Sharpie, but I mean, it's a lot more time. And then we have the label, the Amazon label, which is the ASIN, which is the simplification for, it's not your barcode, it's not the manufacturer's barcode, but the Amazon's barcode to tell that this product is yours in order to be sold in Amazon and pay you. The next step is create a packaging template. So, okay, so what is the product? How many units are going to be in the box? How much it weighs? What are the dimensions? And who's going to be prepping this? Maybe you're not going to be able to bundle them up, or you send them as a whole, and then Amazon is going to be taking care of bagging them by themselves, and then they're going to be charging you. However, this gets expensive. The prepping by Amazon gets expensive, so I don't recommend it. Once you actually have the prepping, you have the boxing, you click next. Then they're gonna give you the labels. Once you have the labels, you're gonna print them out. I recommend using always every 51, 60 labels. Why? Because they have a great glue on the bag. The adhesive that they have, is great for not to separate, because if the label separates from the product, you have a lost product. You lost money in there, because Amazon is not going to be able to find it. And because I mean, I always find a way to make it cheaper. So I get like Chinese labels that are the same, like 30 labels per page, and then they don't have the same adhesive, and it just falls. I lose money. So that was a lot of money when I did that. And this presentations, I'm gonna do a lot of side stories, because there's a lot of mistakes I've done, and I don't want you guys to do the same thing. Cover the so one thing that Amazon asks you is to cover the barcode completely. Behind this Amazon label, there's a barcode that was originally imprinted by the merchant, but right now we're just covering the label with the Avery label, and then remove any other barcode in the box, as well as the outside box. Once you prep the products, then put them in the packaging box, and then they're going to give you two labels. One is going to be for Amazon, and one is going to be for the shipper, which is FedEx or UPS. It all depends who is the shipper. Don't worry about that. So please don't place it where it can be torn, like the middle of the seam. Okay. Some strategies at this step. We're still crawling, taking you by the hand to make your first product. Become the supplier to market demand. It's obvious. Supply and demand. Always search for what products are actually selling already. Don't try to, because I mean, the first thing is that to learn Amazon, to be great at Amazon selling, first you have to be an expert on Amazon fulfillment. Once you actually get the hang of it, then grow into your own products. So this is going to be the second step. I love to create bundles. This is a great way to multiply your profit margin because you're selling more items per sale. Unlock as many categories as you can. Amazon has a multiple array of categories, whether it's food, we just saw arts and crafts. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's books. Some of them they're gated. Why? Because let's say for food, you need to just they require you to have purchased it from a legitimate business that has imported from like the local. With you are you can ungate the food and gourmet, whatever it is, category, by just uploading their invoice. That invoice is going to tell, oh, this is from the legitimate business. This is the information, and then you can just cross out the how much you actually pay for the product. They just want to know that. I mean, you as a starting business, you actually purchase from a legitimate business and reselling. Okay, and so the first step is just being an FBA expert. Um, I just get a hang of it, and then we eventually going to be starting to walk. We're going to be taking our first steps. And this is one thing that a lot of people don't take. So I like this quote. It's from my favorite book, my Bible, which is 4 Hour Work Week, as I stated before. What we fear the most is usually the thing that we need to do the most. How many have we? How many of us have we actually stopped doing something because we got scared? So I still do that. However, I know that behind that fear, it lies a great reward. These I got them. This is a story time, a sad one. I'm sorry. This one, I was making great sales. I remember that one month I was making $26,000 per month from this item alone. Why? Because there wasn't any competition. That's the thing, is that you have to find your products that there's no competition. For this one, actually, let me tell you, this you can actually go into the Paso Saddle Blanket, which is by Hawkins, get them, bag them, and ship them. I still sell them. I'm telling you, because I mean, for me, I learned that I make myself better if I actually get one of my listings knocked down, you know, because or someone actually has a better. It's not someone actually makes a better offer or makes someone better. But right now, no one else can sell this item. Why? Because I have my brand. The thing is that the story behind this is that just before the pandemic, there were actually supply chain issues. This product, they get it from India. This product is manufactured in India, and then there was some type of problem receiving orders. So once I finished my regular sales month of this one, there wasn't any product. So the problem was actually I couldn't supply, because I mean there were many sales I couldn't supply because I didn't have the sources. There's because I mean there's always a balance to either have the sales or have the supply. And this time, actually, I wasn't having the supply. And this is the first time it happened to me that I couldn't get enough. This one, what I had to stop sending product because I didn't have it. But at the time, there's some software that a lot of people are actually, that either are scammers or resellers. There's a black market for listings that have, because at this time, I actually had a 494 5-star reviews. It was a great product. Once you actually hitting those numbers, the products like above 500, they're great products at five stars. That's why it has such a great income from these items. And these search engines that the black market was using or still using is that I didn't have a brand registered to this one. I was using El Paso Saddle Blanket. Now, El Paso Saddle Blanket is a brand owned by, I don't know if you know about Dusty. Dusty, yeah, he's a big guy, historic guy. And yeah, he has a book, and he, he's himself and his wife. They've traveled all the world, and they've harnessed, and they have a great collection of textiles all the way from South America. So this is El Paso Saddle Blanket. They have a bunch of stuff for the Southwest market. So this is where I got it. However, they have a brand, El Paso Saddle Blanket. I couldn't register El Paso Saddle Blanket because Amazon, it just gives that right to the brand owner. Even though I was friends with Dusty, I wasn't able to tell him, "Hey, can I sell exclusively your brand on Amazon?" I mean, no one actually gives that, because once you give the access to someone, just one person, to sell your item, you depend on that person to selling their item. So you always have to find yourself, for you to have that those property rights. And this is going to be the next step. So going into the story, I lost this listing. Someone changed, because I mean it's so easy. Go into the listing, change the brand from El Paso Salbank to theirs, and theirs was registered. So I couldn't change the listing back to El Paso Salbank, even if the label on one of those tags said El Paso Saddle Blanket. Why? Because Amazon is, that's how they work. Someone already registered, the product is already on their name. I couldn't do anything. But the thing is that I missed it because it was on. I didn't have product. So one thing that I recommend is always get your brand. Now, because I was furious, I called out. There's a way for Amazon to report a person, right? So I report them because the brand wasn't matching with the pictures, and they actually deleted that listing. It was because I mean, if you have something like that in the black market, it's a lot of money. It can go like $5,000, $8,000 just for selling a product that, hey, I can just change it to your brand for a listing that is already 5,000 5-star reviews, because it happens. It happens, and this is something that not a lot of people talk. But my listing, yes, yes. So yeah, but I mean, I called them out. Amazon found out that the product images on the brand were not matching their brand. So this is some type of fake advertising, and Amazon is pretty strong against it. So they actually knocked this listing out. So right now, I made these items with my my label and my brand, and also the tag is under our name, made by Seoenz. Now, let's continue with the the walking part. Creating a brand is pretty easy. I mean, I know that our marketing guys are not, they don't agree with this, but Amazon, for what they do is that as long as you're trademarked by the U.S. PTO, which is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Organization from the government, you have a brand. Uh, it is $350. So this is one of the brands that we own. Once you actually go into all the process, which almost it can take almost 6 months, you can actually have an R, which is the registered brand. Now with this one, no one else can touch your product. No one else can sell your product, either if in a new conditions you cannot release like the mazapan. The mazapan, we're actually selling the product, but it's no one else has the right to sell it the same way you do. Because I mean, you have the authorization to allow for any like merchants to resell your item or something like that. So this is the best way for you to build protection for your listing. Now, once you have the trademark, which after the 6 months, you're going to brand Amazon brand registry, which is brand registry that Amazon.com. Sign up with the same seller account and enroll a new brand. Once you enroll a new brand, you're gonna put the email that was registered with the U.S. PTO, your brand name, and they're gonna be sending an email to that address that is recorded on the US website. Once they send it, you have to respond, oh yes, I allow, and then they're gonna be automatically letting you access on only that brand. And then when you actually create a new listing, and we're gonna be talking about that later, there's an option to, oh, what's your brand? You're going to be dropping down instead of just a blank slate, like whatever brand you're going to be reselling. No, it's actually you drop down the option, and the brand is going to appear there as your own. Benefits, yes, no one else can sell as a product as new without your permission, and Amazon is not gonna let anyone else use your brand. No one else can, let's say, for Nuestra Nostalgia, we sell those candies at our toys without we don't let anyone else resell the product without our permission, and the use of that, they cannot use it in any other category, if it makes sense. Okay, let's continue with the patents and copyright. Patents, provisional patents, they're gonna give you a protection if you have a design. It starts at $75 for micro entities. Also non-provisional, once you finish that, the first step on provisional patent, gives you extra 20 years of protection. It can go from 7,000 to 15,000. I've just done provisional patents, and usually just to save myself a year of everybody's, like as long as the product is stated with a patent pending imprinted on their on the product itself, you're gonna be having a lot of uh, people are going to be ignoring that product because they don't want to copy and they don't want to do the legal fees. Copyright, the copyright, and this is something that might change with Disney's continue support for this beloved Mickey Mouse. It protects the life of the author plus an additional 70 years, and this is um, easily gotten because I mean it's really affordable at $60, and it can go up. It depends on the material that you're actually trying to copyright. For this picture, we have, and this is something that I did. There was a product that I really liked. Someone was trying to sell it, and they found out the way to copyright their images. But I really liked the image, and then okay, I'm gonna use it, and that was my fault. I was really green, I would say. And then I got that listing removed. Why? Because I used a copyrighted image, and I got a message. Oh no, you cannot use this image because it's copyrighted. You can use someone else's image as long as it's not copyrighted. However, you don't know if it's copyrighted. They actually have to come up with that information